Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? Is that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you? Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time being here, welcome to the channel. I have been meaning to get on here and make a video after our victory against the Carolina Panthers, which most of us saw coming because we were so confident about it. But due to scheduling of my job, I've been doing other places, working other sites in different hours. I have not had a chance to come on here and talk about that. But quickly, coaches, I'm gonna go ahead and take a C. The coaching on the offense and defense, as usual, ecstatic. Players executed what they were told, and they did what they had to do. Later in the game, due to player injuries and taking their foot off the gas, that's what led the Panthers back into the game. That can be forgiven, but not always. It's not going to cost us right then because of the lead. But if it does come to cost us, that grade will head south. Quarterbacking is Dak. You know that's an A. The man can do no wrong. I mean, you can throw 5 interceptions or something like another certain quarterback of the Cowboys, but you still win? Oh man, you still get high grades. But he did what he had to do. He kept us in the game. He kept it flowing. He used his legs. He had to do what he had to do. He checked out when he had to check out, and it worked out for us. Running backs, A. Zeke Elliott proved that Carolina's so-called #1 defense, and never having more than, 40 yards ran against them was all BS. Tony Pollard and Zeke both got over that. So, kudos to those guys. They're doing their usual. Tight ends, couple drops from Schultz, but, they made up for it. Offensive line, we don't even talk about those guys like we used to. Isn't that amazing? It's great. I love it. Terrence Steele is a name, but a name we don't have to say because he doesn't have any issues. Nowadays, it's usually Williams or Biotish. But a game where we don't have to call their names out like that is a great game. Wide receivers, they did their thing, Cedric Wilson finally got on the scoreboard. You had Coop leave the game but come back, and he's already admitted that if he can run, he's going to be out there with cracked ribs and bad hamstrings and all that. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the week. More than likely, he's going to get rest periods and rehabilitation instead of full-on practices. Defense, Trayvon Diggs, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. You can't beat that. Michael Parsons, Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's coming. You can't beat that. AB is AB. Don't need to talk about that no more. Safeties, surprisingly, I myself forgot about Curse. I guess forgetting about a man makes him play better. Safety play has not been a hindrance like it's been in years past. Kudos. And defensive line, 5 sacks. Gregory on his own tip. Micah, Golston, and Odigizua doing the damn thing. You can't be mad. Let's see. Special teams, they do what they got to do. But all in all, another great effort from the boys. We got one more home game before we're back on the road again to New England, I do believe. But our next game is at the Giants. We'll ready up for them. It's going to be one of those revenge type games, but I hope that the Cowboys don't look too into that. This will be the game a year later from Dak having his ankle tore up, and against the same exact team in the same stadium. I knew the NFL did that on purpose, but now we're going to see if that has any kind of real emotion going into the game. All right, let's get to the heart of the matter today. Jaylon Smith's release. People wanted to talk about Stephon Gilmore being released, but New England somehow swindled a trade to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th round pick in 2022, I do believe. So that worked out for them. A lot of Cowboys fan base, you know them, it's a name. They want him even though he's older. He's coming off an injury, but these are the same type of guys y'all didn't want when we got KZ and Hooker because they were injured, and y'all were like, why pay them? Get somebody else. But now you want this guy. I don't know. Cowboy fans are fickle. You're mad when we pay somebody, but y'all want to spend money on somebody else. Same thing with Jaylon. Y'all didn't want to pay Jaylon because his play was starting to decline. But now that we got rid of him, you want to go and spend that money we just saved for him just to spend it on another older guy. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, Jaylon's gone due to performance issues, obviously. Due to monetary issues, obviously. And, you don't play special teams. Your play on defense has been, your snap counts have been dramatically dropped because of Dan Quinn's schemes, and he doesn't really see you as a starter anymore. So having Parsons, Neal has been reactivated, Bradley and Nye's been reactivated off COVID. So those guys are going to be back. So obviously you're odd man out again. You don't play special teams, and you're really not going to see the field. So it's pointless to have a guy making $7.6 million this year and $9.2 next year, aside from guarantee even for injury, if you're never even on the field. Why are you here, basically? So let's go ahead and start working Neal, Van Der Esch, Parsons, and Cox, because you got those guys for a reason, and they can play better in coverage than he can, and it's a huge night and day difference in skills compared to him when the other guys are on the field. The writing was on the wall when his snap counts were dramatically reduced. He just didn't fit in with Dan Quinn's scheme. He wasn't a starter anymore. And his play on the field, you can see he's just a liability. So it was just something waiting to happen. I'm sure the Brain Trust got together and discussed it and said, with Neal coming back, this is kind of pointless to have this guy making all this money and he's not even on the field. And we're not into playing guys just because of how much they get paid anymore. This is not that Cowboys anymore. This is another step in me saying that Jerry Jones and this Cowboys team is a hell of a lot different than the Garrett era. Because Garrett era, if you got paid, you had to play just because of your pay. And that shit just backfires in our faces all the time. But now, I think they finally see it. They finally recognize it. Jerry Jones is like, you know what, you're right. I'm paying guys $1 million and they play way better than the $7 and $8 million guys. Why am I going to have y'all out here? So, that's pretty much his Dallas career. It is over. If he gets picked up by another team, I'm hearing there's some kind of clause that they can get off the hook for some of that salary of this year's taken off, depending on how they negotiate it and put it in his contract. But some people say he's going to have a quick turnaround and somebody's going to pick him up. But if you're not willing to trade for him, I'm sure you've seen the tape. So you're not really going to want him at a certain price unless he's willing to come down. So don't expect him to get those endorsements, the big money stuff like he wants, and his branding like he's been trying to get. All that's out the window. So he's going to have to be humble. If he's going to have another job somewhere, he's probably going to end up in Kansas City or Las Vegas or Tampa Bay. All the same teams that always seem to get another player. We'll have to see where his career takes him from now on. Good luck to you in your future endeavors, Jaylon. You were great for the community. You're a good person, but your football skills, they just never got over the 2018 season. That was your high point, and from there, that was it. You were used up, unfortunately. And as we keep saying, this is the NFL. This is a business. So we had to move on. Alright, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Sorry I've been MIA. I hope that you have a great day. Stay safe. Take care out there. Again, if you're new to this channel, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. And if you're a return subscriber, I hope you enjoyed this. Talk to y'all next time. This is VA Dallas Cowboy Fan. Out.